Well, I wish I could say things have changed, but not much has changed. You do get kids who actually try and are more enthusiastic about things. But even then, I gave them homework over the weekend, and once they get to that problem, they don't understand. That's it, and they wash their hands of it. I know that the problems we've had with math are not isolated problems. I know that the same problems are showing up in English, the same problems are showing up in science. We have tried to work with our administrators to make some changes in curriculum and some changes, some adjustments that have to be made. For lack of a better term, we've had to dumb down the curriculum a bit to handle the kids and at least give them a chance. And on the one hand, I'd like to increase the standards, I'd like to increase the rigor, but can't do that, not when you got 2/3 of your class failing. They basically want us to do more with less, again, and it's hard. And I know it's not this way everywhere, but it's very frustrating to come to work and know that you don't really have the support of your own administration, along with, you don't have the support of most of the parents, you don't have the support of, obviously, the students. Well, there's a lot going on. I mean, we have been without a contract, without a collective bargaining agreement now for over a year. In August, the school board imposed terms. While it is technically legal for them to do that, they went through the process to do that. They never really had any interest in actually bargaining with us or working with us collaboratively. They think they know what's best, and they don't care to listen to the people that are on the front lines in the classroom. We are the first district in Metro Detroit to get a contract imposed on them. Our MEA president had a really good quote. He said the district is more interested in litigating than negotiating, and I think that's the case here. They took the law and abused it to their own ends. It could really drastically alter the state of education in the state of Michigan. I've been here this is my 9th year, and despite the obvious problems I've been having, it wasn't a bad place to work for a long time, and we could work together and get things done. And there was a real decent working relationship between union, the teachers and the administration, and that's just gone, just completely gone. Nationally, the No Child Left Behind Act that President Bush said was going to do wonders for education, and frankly, it's just a tool to discredit public education, and we're seeing that in the state. There's a think tank called the Mackinac Center that basically their whole point is to basically destroy public education in the state and just have private education for those who can afford it. They want to control how their money is spent. And if it's going to be spent on school, it's going to be spent on school for their kids in their way. But beyond that, I do think there's a larger, I'm not going to say it's a conspiracy, but education's been dumbed down and dumbed down and dumbed down for years. It widens that divide between the haves and the have-nots. It widens the divide between the rich and the poor. It helps to shrink that middle class that's becoming an endangered species already. And soon we have basically workers and drones who don't have a lot of independent thought, and because they don't have a lot of education. And we have the privileged few who will be, running the country or running the businesses and basically making decisions for everyone. Most people in the community either are unaware or just have no opinion either way. There's just a tremendous amount of apathy for what's going on. And I mean, that's typical of just about everything. They just accept what's told to them at face value and go about their day, and they don't want to be bothered with what's taking place. I think that's part of the problem that I see in the classroom too. I think there's a lot of apathy amongst the parents. It's easy to count dollars. You can count money. You can say, I spent this much on textbooks and I spent this much on, technology in the classroom. You can't measure the effect that spending money on teachers has. People want to quantify education, or the art of teaching. They want to take the art of being an educator and turn it into a science. You have to be able to measure your success. You have to be able to get the kids from point A to point B, and you have to be able to measure that. And there's all kinds of charts and graphs and statistics and all this crap. And sometimes it isn't about that. Sometimes it's about intuition. Sometimes it's about just being able to read a kid and being able to know what's going to work and what isn't. And that comes through experience, and that comes through, that's just inside. It's like, Brown has this great line, why am I a teacher? Because I have to be. That's just what I am. And I think, people don't respect that. How can you say this method works or this curriculum works? What works in one school district, what works in one classroom might not work in another classroom down the hall because the kids are different. And you're never going to be able to change. You can't change what goes on in at home. I don't know.